Welcome to On the Chain.
Well, here's what's going on, Jeff. If you remember back when The Daily Show, Jon Stewart was the host of that show, it doesn't seem that long ago because I know Trevor Noah took over for him, and I don't know. I don't watch the show, but every once in a while I'll see a clip from it. But it feels like it was a couple weeks, maybe a couple. It's probably like 10 years ago. Who knows? Anyway, Jon Stewart's back with a new series on Apple TV, which means I can watch it, Jeff. Although I don't believe I. And it's called The Problem, and it tells you everything you need to know about the show. Anything that's called The Problem, I don't want to know. I got enough problems going on in my world. I don't need more problems. I'm surely not going to watch a show. But our old pal, Daddy Gensler, what's going on with our speaking tonight? But usually by Thursday, we got it all piled. Yeah. Having a disaster tonight. What's going on?
Too much. No idea what's going on.
This agency.
But anyway, so you hear sound, right? Yeah.
I think that's real, or are they in a kind of a green room?
No, I don't know, but Stewart looks like, my God, what happened to him? Like, I haven't seen him in a while, but holy cow, man, he looks like he's in his like late 60s. Does anybody know how old Jon Stewart is?
He looks a little bit like sad and kind of helpless.
Well, I have to tell you, before he got onto all this political stuff, Jeff, he was one of the funniest comedians. If you go back and Google stuff of Jon Stewart in his 20s and 30s, it's some of the funniest comedy you'll ever see. You'd never know that. I mean, he does little, hits here and there, but they're just, I don't know. It's not that funny, but he was a really amazing comedian. Yeah. Super long hair, get out there, just really crazy stuff. Like, you probably wouldn't do those types of acts anymore. Joe Rogan, also a very funny comedian too, but you don't see him dishing the humor. But Joe Rogan's a stand-up dude as well. But anybody want to say, how old is he? He's 59?
59.
All right. For some reason, I thought he was like in his mid-60s, like 65, 66, something around there. Yeah, okay, so that's all right. So he's not even 60 yet, okay? But let's listen. So there was a little clip that was released on Twitter, and it's him interviewing our pal, Daddy G, better known as the Gensler.
Matt LaRouche wants to know if he was the T-1000.
Could have been. The T1 could have been. He could have been, Matt. It's very possible. I mean, my gosh, anything's possible. You would ask me stuff like that a couple years ago, and I'd be, come on, Jeff, it's just preposterous. I would use that word, preposterous. And I'm like, you can ask me almost anything, and I'm like, I don't know, it could happen. Sounds legit.
Crypto G was saying Stewart must be into crypto. He's aging like guacamole.
Crypto G, bringing the humor. See, now that's funnier than probably anything we'll see tonight. I mean, my God, that's great. I'm glad you're in that chat looking out for that stuff. But anyway, let's listen to this. It's not a long clip, but this is going to be important. We're going to chat about this, and we got some other stuff we're going to like. It's kind of like dovetail this, but here we go. Ready?
To litigate. This agency has to be willing to go into court and take some losses from time to time. But go into court.
Right.
I think all of those things, but it's trying to use high-profile cases to bring folks back on the right side of the line.
Now wait a minute. So is this
on the right side of the line, and now he's concerned again? Look at.
But where's the right side of the line if you go lose? If you go lose in court, it's kind of like throw it at the wall, see what sticks, and then we'll build the enforcement around that. That's what it's just like. Did that work? No. Okay, look, we're gonna go after this. And who was it that brought up the other day that
it's like we gotta bring it back?
To the right side.
Bring it to the right.
To the wrong
the
side.
whole hand gestures. He's like in his mind. He's kind of visualizing how
it's something good.
He's pulling this case. He's like the visualization, the hand gestures, and the idea don't seem to. I don't know.
Listen. I don't know who the folks are over there at Apple programming. There's a lot of weird stuff on there that just doesn't fit my taste. Okay, that's you want to hear me go negative on Apple? Apple TV is a disaster. It really is. I'm subscribed to it, and there's nothing to watch. It's like it's the most. Yeah, it's. I'm not going to say the word, but you kind of know why. Oh. And so you come out with a new show. Jon Stewart hasn't been on TV in what, 10 years? Who knows? And you have a show, and it's called The Problem. I don't know.
Here's a good comment. Wait, how do we just hide that real quick? This is interesting. So, ex-game writer hard to be on the right side of the line when you have no clue where the line even is, because the SEC can't tell you. Not
Yeah,
only
hey,
can't they, but they won't because they don't know.
hey, Gary, can you tell us one crypto that's not a security? I'm not going to get into particular crypto. Okay, well, you got to give us something over here.
Just give us a hint.
Nothing. Give us a hint, would you? Let's listen to this one more
Okay.
time.
This agency has to be willing to go into court and, take some losses from time
Oh gosh, I could just. This is my favorite bit of ever. That I could hear this over and over, Jeff. Put it on a loop.
and, take some losses and, take some losses and, take some losses and, take some losses, take some loss, take some loss, take some losses from time to time.
Just never gets old, Jeff. It's fantastic. I'm saying take some
Is he a
losses. Well,
Muppet?
he looks like a Muppet, but he's going to take one of the biggest
Sounds like a
losses.
His hands act like Muppets. Those are
You and I
Muppet
have never wavered on the whole idea that this is not going to settle. And what we found out when a tweet that came out, maybe it was the beginning of the week or last week, but Attorney Hogan put a tweet out there saying that they had to sit down. The judge said, sit down for an hour and see if you can come to a settlement. That's settling, man. And why not? And we got to take some losses. You got to take some losses.
Take some losses. You gotta take some losses because he's the pillar of enforcement. But within the pillar of enforcement, you got to take some losses.
And you know what the best part about that? He's gonna go down in history as losing one of the defining that's gonna help crypto out the most, and his name will be on it, and it will be just a glorious time. It'll be just phenomenal.
You know what? But he's got his buddy over there in the Senate.
Which buddy?
Warren,
Oh,
and so she's over there
That
kind of
buddy.
trying to push the negative narrative that they need more investigation into all this whole cryptocurrency thing. So Susan's saying, did they get him out of the living room? I don't know. I don't know that he's out of his living room. Maybe he's in the other room.
I love that name, Susan Chippy.
Susan Chippy.
Susan Chippy.
No one is Chippy.
I've seen Chippy. I've seen Chipman. But
What
what
are
about
people
Chip?
refer to Susan as Chippy?
Chippy. Hey, Chippy. Yeah, I would imagine they call her Chippy.
Chippy?
That's like
What's going
now
on,
if
Chippy?
you're
Hang
now
out
if you're
at
like
Chippy.
really if you're a B, what do they call you? You're Chippy? No, what is that?
If what?
Chippy? If you're like an upbeat person, would you say you're Chippy? I don't know. It sounds like that.
Yeah. Chipper?
Chipper.
Chippy.
I get called Chipper all the time
Chipper.
too. That's my nickname growing
They
up.
call you
Chipper.
Chipper. Oh, hey, Chipper.
They called me Chipper. That was like a nickname from my Utes.
They call you
Chipper.
Chipper when you're at the golf course. Yo, hey, Chipper.
Chipper. Yeah, that happens too, but that's people that don't even know me. Chip shot. Here comes a chip shot. Buy the chip. That's what happens sometimes, Jack.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.